What is going on, guys? Justin here, back at it again with another Q Life Racer vlog. Let's go. So we're at a full charge. I just got done fully charging this thing. So mode 5 it is, boys. And we're off to the races. It's a little chilly out still, but we're testing out the new GoPro batteries that I just got from Amazon again. I've got the ones that are meant for this GoPro Hero 8, but what's nice about these is they're supposed to last longer. It's supposed to be a longer charge because I got a bigger amp hour than the ones that I originally had and from the ones that are original with the GoPro Hero 8. So that being said, we should have a longer lifespan with one battery in the GoPro. I might not have to swap them out as frequently. So yeah. So that should be nice. Take you guys to a spot where we took the mini bike already, but we haven't taken this thing yet. We should be able to make that and back in mode 5 on its full charge without having to swap to the lower modes. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what happens. See how long it lasts on the way to where I'm gonna take you guys, where we took the mini bike before. And if it does well, maybe we'll go a little further. We'll see. Depending on charge, I might be able to show you guys the house that I grew up in. Like the house that I moved out of around 12. I was about 11, 12 years old. I was like 11 at the time when I moved out of that one. Thank you. Yeah, but I helped you guys out, but you guys wouldn't let me over either, so I'm not gonna have to. I don't want to take that thank you because that was kind of rude. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're welcome. But get out of my way next time. Those mountain bikers without the electricity are in my way of direction. This thing is so much more fun than the normal mountain bike. It's basically an e-moto, right? But it's an e-bike. But it's because it's not a fat tire e-bike. It's nice. You know, there's one thing that I keep forgetting. It's my goggles. But we should be good for this ride. It's not getting dark out enough to where I have to worry about gnats or anything, or any bugs. So I'm pretty sure that was David Goggins. Just kidding. Stay freaking hard. No, it was Ashton Hall. No. They had to come to a complete stop, so fuck you. You're supposed to come to a complete stop, you douchebag. There's a stop sign there. Stupid Jeep. You deserved every bit of that finger. I bet self-driving mode could do better than that. What that Tesla was thinking, but they needed to come to a complete stop. They're required by law to stop completely. Ooh, that's nice, Ram. And a BMW back there. Fancy. These people are so stupid. This thing is holding up really well, guys. I am extremely impressed with this bike's capabilities. Limitless with this thing. Alright, so this is the similar spot that I took you guys with the mini bike. And I was going to originally take you guys on that road, but I'm feeling like this battery's at a full charge, so I'm going to take you here. Fake SI. Just the base model Civic with the wing. A little silly, but okay. Not bad. They're reliable, so. Let's take you guys to my old neighborhood. We'll get there and back on a full charge. We'll be chilling. Come on, cruise control kick in. I want this cruise control to kick in. Ooh, that's a nice travel rig. Oh yeah, bud. I just made 23 there down the little slope there. There we go. There's the cruise control I'm looking for. You're supposed to just hold it down full throttle for 5 seconds and it's supposed to kick in. Why is that block moved? I guess someone forced it. Those blocks are not easy to move. I don't know how. Without a crane, not a crane, but an excavator. They can put a strap on them with the excavator and excavator will move it. Call that something like that. And there's all the equipment. take of that semi. Ain't that thing badass? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That thing looks sweet. I think it looks brand new. That's why it looks brand new. Brand new. Oh, if they see this vlog, thank you for honking the horn and have a good day. That was awesome. My autistic mind has a great taste, doesn't it? Beautiful Kenworth. I do like the straight stacks, most like straight stack Peterbilt 379s are some of my favorite trucks. But when it comes down to practicality and reliability, the 379 is not terrible, but when it comes down to it, I like the Volvos because they're like top of the line luxury and they're like really spacious on the inside. But the Kenworth does look good. I do like the slanted stack, like those stacks are pretty cool, the slope stack with the angle cut. But like I said, I prefer the straight stacks on like Peterbilt 379s and stuff. But that truck was cool. I love the bright red with the headlight design. Oh, it's really neat, you guys. That was really, really dope, you guys. Really dope. There's Mrs. Puff. Hi, Mrs. Puff. Floor it. Floor it. No, SpongeBob, don't floor it. Floor it. You know those, like, I'm going to call them GIFs because I think it's funny. You know those GIFs where it's like Beast Boy and there's the SpongeBob one and it's like a picture of him like with a gear shifter? It looks funny. Here, we'll take this way because it's a shortcut. And it's a downhill section here. But then we had to pedal uphill a little bit, but it's not bad. It's better than going that way on the roadside. Well, on the sidewalk, but the roadside, like this road's right next to the sidewalk there, because it's more hills. Like it's a longer hill in the long run. Like this is just a short, steep slope, and that is like a long, all the way uphill. So I got a 300ZX and a Miata. Nice. My Miata's still better. The KBD, I feel like the KBD kit, it makes the Miata look how it should. It looks more manly with the KBD kit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why. FR Legends that kit. But yeah, basically I grew up in this one house and then we decided to move over there because it was just not only just right at the time, but like schools were switching and I wanted to stick with the buddies that I had, so we moved over there so I could stay with my buddies through middle school and high school. So, and it was really nicer because I had no friends over in this neighborhood, and like that neighborhood I could ride my bike and skate and stuff with my buddies, and we did that a lot, so that was good that we moved. But like, I don't know. I'm getting older now, so and eventually like to get out on my parents at some point. Might not be for a while. I'd like to really try and save my money first and stuff. So, we'll see. Yeah, we've already got, I'm gonna wait till it hits 90. I can't remember if I've told you guys about this in previous vlogs. But this hill here specifically, we used to sled and snowboard down this hill all the time. And when we did, I'll show you like roughly where we did. I think it was like right here where they put these bushes in. And they never had these bushes here before. Or maybe they did, it just, the winter was dark and they weren't there, so. But I had a 1080 ramp in the center, and I would hop it with my snowboard. And I ate so hard one time. It was so nasty, it was so gnarly. I knocked the wind out of myself so bad. But there also used to be a half pipe. We can actually go back though today maybe. There used to be a half pipe, but it got torn down like the day after I tried to go skate it. But some like people built a half pipe and stuff back where like people would do drugs and stuff. But like that's also why it got torn down, I think. Like there was a lot of drugs in this like development. Like the police would go back in this woods section all the time and like bust kids doing heroin and crack. There was always heroin spoons and crack spoons that you'd see from kids like burning it and stuff. It was wild. I don't know if that's changed or not, but that's all I remember. And to get to the wooded section, it might have changed. It was back there, it used to be, but you could get through here. We used to trek back here. See, there's a little trail here. And we can go back there. I'll have to check myself for ticks once I get home. I remember this like it was yesterday. I've also, there used to be a farm back in the day. So there's like that rebar and barbed wire fences in the creek beds. And when you'd go in the creek, there used to be like a bunch of snakes, like water mocks and copperheads and whatnot. And one time there was like a deep end for like when we were kids. You know, like we would, basically we would wade in the water there. And whenever we waded in the water and whatnot and stuff, there was a copperhead one time, and my brother Cody was yelling, "Snake! Justin, there's a snake! Snake!" And I freaked out, and I looked behind me, and it's like right in my face. Like the nest is right in my face. And I was like, holy shit! And I'm like young, like I'm like a kid, so I'm like maybe 9 or 10, and I'm wading in the water. I'm like waist deep in this water. And right here, it was right here. So this section gets really deep. And there used to be a rebar right there, and we'd jump in it all the time. And it was so bad. It was like right in my face, and I was like, holy crap. And thankfully it didn't bite me, but it was pretty gnarly. So, and the half pipe was about here somewhere. Houses are right there. And the trail's still back here. It's changed a little bit over the years, but still here, as you can see. We used to have Power Wheels, and I had a childhood friend, and probably the closest I would have ever gotten to a girl, but she's far gone. I mean, they moved away also like early on, and then like some bad people came into the home that they were out of and all that, and then like she came to like visit at the new house like years ago, and like they were like, her mom turned out to be like a really bad girl, and she like took some drugs out of our medicine cabinet and stuff, and then they left. They were weird, and then like, yeah, she was pretty, but like she apparently like got with some black dude, and she got pregnant, and now she's got like a kid now and stuff. But like, her mom is a really bad chick. But they moved like out of state, so like obviously like once we were like, I think we were like 5 or 6, she was gone. Like I wouldn't see her, you know, and all that. But she was like right next door. But so we could go along this fence line there, or we can go up this way, or we'll just go this way. I'll beat the K-Truck. That's pretty dope. You can get one imported for cheap. So like, this hill is a lot like less steep than I remember it, but growing up I used to bomb it on my board and my bike too. But usually I'd come up here on my skateboard and just I'd haul it, and it's a lot less steep than I remember because I'm older now. But man, I felt like I was going like 100 miles an hour. So much fun. You can smell weed. Yeah. Cheap weed too. So like back up there, when I was here, way back there, cops would always scope it out. But this house straight ahead, I grew up in that house straight ahead here. It's changed over the years. It's gotten it looks a lot smaller than I remember it. Then my childhood friend lived like right there in that house. And that was like a long time ago. It's hard to remember everything. And there was like a few people over here that I'd have over in front of my house because I had a rail. Oh, they changed the playground. I had like a rail and the ramp, and we'd bike and skate. I also had, after that childhood friend left, and obviously no longer close to, that I had 2 other guys that actually lived in that house. Well, there was 3, and they also would come out and we'd all hang out. But obviously we aren't close like that either. But that was always fun. They've changed that playground. Hold on. But I remember falling and hitting that rail so many times. We're getting dizzy already. Woo! They had this though. I remember it broke one time, and they fixed it, I guess. That was years ago. yeah, no, I forgot to mention that. There was like 3 dudes close in my age group and my brother's age group that lived in that house shortly after that, and they weren't too bad. I don't think they're too bad. They just, obviously, we don't talk like that. But like, I would set up my rail like right here. Man, this street looks so much smaller than I remember it. But I remembered like everything. Like, we had like these like tiny 12-inch bikes till we were a lot older too, because it was like kind of like we would treat them as like fat boy mini BMXs, and we'd always set up the 1080 ramp like right here, and we would shoot out right into the fence there. And my old dog, I remember my old dog Walker cornered a bird in the fence one time. We had, like I said, we had this long flat bar, and I'd set it up literally right here, and I'd just 50-50 it like all day, all the time. And then over here in the back of the woods, or not the back, but here was the first time I ever got sacked in the nuts by some group of teenagers. We're all playing football here, and they wanted to be jackasses and kick me in the nuts. That hurt like crap. That was years ago though too. But I'm surprised I actually remember that. But yeah, it's changed since I've been here. And the bus stop was right here. I remember that. And then there was there's a tunnel back down here. I'll hit that tunnel. I don't want to go there because let's go this way. Oh, there we go. There's this. There's a little tunnel down here. So it's kind of muddy, so we can't really go in there right now. But kickstand's nice. Echo! Ah! Higher! Higher! Look at all the signs. They put Illuminati. I don't remember those when I was here. Those look fresh. Gay. Got butt. Orange Challenger. I've never seen a Challenger in orange before. The pumpkin, bro. Alright, we're down 2 bars. Start making our way back. Yeah, we moved out of here like, I was like 12, or no, I was 11. And then shortly after we got into that neighborhood was when like people would complain even more. Oh my God, it was so awful. But this is like like a really sketchy neighborhood. It's changed since I came out, but they used to call it Carter Hood because it's called Carterwood, but they call it Carter Hood because it's kind of sketch, you know. The snow plows scrape the heck out of these. You can see it there. They need to hire better drivers. Let's try and hit that. I don't know, do we want to? Because if there's like a hole, let's like test a good area first and make sure there's no like big deep hole when I ride down that's gonna take me and throw me over my bars. Man, I've got some wicked stories from this place. Some crazy shit that always went down. It was definitely not the best neighborhood to grow up in, but I mean, it's everywhere you go, you know. Kind of a little sketched out on that hill. Wasn't too bad though. Got 91 miles on this bike so far, you guys. It's not bad at all. Make sure they see me. These people don't know what they're doing. My way before I mow you over. No. Engage my PTO blades. Blend them in the soup. Yeah, this is the uphill section I was telling you guys about. It would have drained my battery a lot more. But now we're coasting downhill, so I don't even need to hit the, oh yeah, I do. It's decelerating me. That was a Lexus. That sounded like dog crap. Those Lexus IS 350s sound like garbage with an exhaust system. Nothing can beat the sound of a VQ trumpet straight pipe. That's that, like, as in, like, in a bad way, like, it sounds the worst. That's the worst sounding car, I think, yet. Oh, there's worse sounding, but that one's definitely at the top of the list. a straight pipe VQ is at the top of the list for the shittiest sounding car. For sure. But yeah, that was my old neighborhood. The hood, the old hood. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't too bad, but it was pretty nasty. Of course, it's gonna look different to me now too. It's gonna look a lot smaller because I'm a lot older. Because when I was younger, it looked a lot bigger. And I remember it. Like the road, just the roads looked so much bigger growing up. Yeah, that was my childhood home. It was crazy. I don't miss the house much. But I do remember there was a lot of memories in it that somehow I still really remember. I remember me and my childhood friend, I painted myself, or I didn't paint myself, I got not a Sharpie, but a green marker and colored myself green. I'm sure my mom's probably got a picture somewhere. Markered myself green and tried to make myself the Hulk. My whole body. My whole chest, torso, arms, my legs for my shorts down. I was like below my shorts. And then my face was all green marker. And then I remember the bird, my dog. He's been long gone. And then the only other memory that I can remember off the top of my head is me and my brother spat on our birthday cakes one time. And that's about it. My family was so pissed. They all had to eat ice cream because my brother and I spat on our cakes. But I told my brother, I was like, Cody, let's spit on the cakes, because if we spit on our cake, nobody's gonna want to eat them. Then we can have it all to ourselves, because we wanted our cakes all to ourselves, because my parents invited them over and I didn't want them to invite our cousins and stuff over. And I was like, they're gonna take our cake. So I said, Cody, let's spit on our cakes. And we wound up spitting on our cakes. And they got so mad. They were so pissed. Everyone was furious at us. And I was like, fuck you guys. You all would have done the same thing if you were me and Cody. I was looking at them. I was like, you guys would have done the same fucking thing. And yeah. That was the day that I got my ass kicked for the first time now. They put soap in my mouth. Yeah, but there was definitely some characters that there were characters in that neighborhood. Everyone was a character, including my families. We were all characters, man. Everybody's different. Same as this one. The slums of a gated community. Obviously, that place probably doesn't complain as much as this one does. This is the place that blamed me for the pipe bomb. Like, it was like, I wasn't even living there for like a year yet. I was like 12. I wasn't even there for a year. And they wanted to blame me for that. Something that I had nothing to do with. Ooh, that thing is sick! So as you can see, it obviously, it kind of left a negative impact, but I looked past that. Even though I keep mentioning it, people are like, why aren't you moving on? Well, it's a part of, it's a part of my history. I mean, I've let it go, right? But, I mean, it's not something I really should have to move on from. There's negatives and positives in life, and I'm allowed to bring up the negatives. It shouldn't really bring anybody down. If it brings you down, it's because you have some involvement in it, I guess. I don't know, but I don't need to shut up about it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault people wanted to blame me for something that they caused. But like I said, I look past that and I don't know. I just feel like mentioning it and calling it out as much as I want, as long as I want to. It's just something that I don't want to forget, because I don't want to forgive these people and be nice to all of them, because I want to put my positivity elsewhere. You know what I mean? I want to put my good heart and positivity towards those who deserve it. And my neighborhood, not so much. This whole area, not so much. It's not everybody, but I definitely think putting my positive and leaving a positive impact on this earth, I'm gonna need to make it elsewhere, which is on here and towards those who deserve it out of this area. And when I say those who deserve it, when it comes down to in person, I'm talking about like 1 or 2 people, man, not a whole bunch of people. Like, I'm not gonna give anybody nasty shit unless they give me nasty shit, you know, but I don't feel like doing it back, man. I don't got time to get on that level. But if it's constant and they won't leave me alone, yeah, I'll flick you off, but that's about it until you have off. But yeah, basically I want to leave that positive impact outside of this community, because like I said, this community, this area, it's not the community, it's just the area. These people don't deserve my respect or attention, you know, and I shouldn't owe anybody anything, vice versa. A lot of these people act like I owe them something, and I don't owe them nothing. They don't owe me anything either, though. So I always want to make sure people understand that I don't owe them anything either, you know. There's a beautiful day out, guys. Beautiful day out. I was gonna take a sip of water, but I'll do it through my helmet. Started to do it through my helmet, but yeah, a lot of these people gotta understand, like, they gotta pay attention and be more careful and learn how to leave people alone, you know? Like, the harassment needs to stop. Oh, so good. So this guy's valid. That guy's valid. Yeah, and I understand that mistakes happen, but people gotta look out and be more careful. Just like that guy. Like, he come to a complete stop. Perfect. It was perfect. It was right. You know? And it's like, what? Is it really that? It's not that hard to do that. It is not that hard to do that. It is not hard to do that at all. As you saw. That is fucking nice. But yeah, obviously, as you can see, it's not hard to do that at all. So, yeah. Like, they get a thumbs up. See, like, I'm not going to be a dick to somebody who has been kind, even if it's in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? But I may not say anything, but I'm not required to. But it's also, if you want to be mean, I don't have to be nice to you. You know? But the harassment has got to stop. saying bad things about me to keep me single, because those bad things are not true, needs to stop. That's harassment. Giving me a hard time for something that you started is harassment. It's that simple. It's just called leaving me alone. You know, just like I do with the rest. That's the number one thing that people don't understand is I'm not attacking nobody. They're attacking me, and that's all there is to it. They're attacking me, and I'm way too calm and nice about it. That's kind of how it's always been. And again, I said it's not everybody, but it needs to be made clear. It needs to be made clear. And I'm not a victim, and they aren't either. They need to stop making it that way. There's no need to create victims, if that makes any sense. They didn't really come to a complete stop there, so, or whatever. But yeah, I'd say this vlog was pretty dope, pretty rad. I had fun doing it, had fun making it. But yeah, that's a little backstory on where I grew up. So I have a lot planned with this thing for this week. I'm not too sure. It's gonna be a surprise each day, but I'm gonna take this thing in the truck more often this week and get outside a little bit with this thing. And until the next video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.